A key hearing in court for the parents of the teen who killed 4 Oxford High School students. Their attorneys asked that the case be dismissed.
It's a case unlike any other, which will really determine whether the Crumbley parents are legally responsible for their actions of their sons. Fox 2 legal analyst, anchor and reporter Charlie Langton joins us live with more. Charlie.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was absolutely a fascinating case to watch. I had a front row seat, so that's good. But the legal issue in the case, in this particular case, basically, can the parents be responsible for the criminal acts of their son? James, Jennifer Crumbley, they want the court throw the case out and release them from jail. The prosecutor, Karen McDonald, she says no, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the negligence, the gross negligence of these parents did in fact contribute to the deaths at Oxford High School. And I tell you what, when you look at the case and how the judges ask the questions, very difficult to tell which side the judges are leaning towards. Take a look.
They came into the school, true, good for them, but then they just left. Didn't hug him, left the school, left him in for the rest of the day.
So that's the math worksheet is...
If I can just tag on one thing to Judge Yates, they also didn't look in the backpack.
Well, with that kind of questioning, you would think the court was going to send the Crumbleys to trial.
I couldn't help but think to someone in perhaps a more rural area who is a family of hunters who buys a 15 or 16-year-old a rifle to go deer hunting with, who best friend moved away, grandparent died, dog died, and was having some tough times, and most kids at 15 or 16 are having a tough time with one thing or another anyway. And now all of a sudden the hunting child goes off and shoots somebody, and then all of a sudden the parents are responsible for that? That's basically what you just summarized.
Well, now I'm not sure which way the court is going to rule.
Let me answer one thing if the judges are watching. You don't hunt with a handgun.
The Watsons have been to almost every hearing. They had 3 kids in the Oxford school, including one who had to deal with both Oxford and MSU.
If anyone out there that can impact us, call your state representatives, call your senators. Let's help to get some of these laws passed, because if there was a safe storage law, what we just happened wouldn't have happened. It would have been very straightforward. Clearly they bought them the gun. Clearly they didn't secure it safely from a minor, and we'd be going to trial.
So really very, very interesting. Again, legally is whether or not there is a relationship between the bad stuff that the parents did or didn't do. Buy the gun, didn't lock it, didn't check the backpack, didn't look at the drawings they had, and was that the cause, a cause of the death, where you've got a 15-year-old tried as an adult, basically take the gun and then commit first-degree murder. So there's the connection, and that's what this whole case is about.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because this is a precedent-setting case, there's nothing to follow. So that's why they're really breaking down every key part of this.
Yeah, and what's interesting, this case got to the Court of Appeals because the Supreme Court of Michigan said, hey, Court of Appeals, give us a decision. Figure it out. Should these parents be on trial for manslaughter?
Right.
Because of what the kid did criminally. And we don't mention the name and all. By the way, James and Jennifer Crumbley, they were not in court today. They don't go to these appellate hearings. Sure. But the place was packed. A lot of people from Oxford very interested in this particular
Well, lots
case.
of eyes on this case. I'm very curious about what that gentleman said, what he heard, what we heard, which is this judge kind of riffing and talking about what may have happened, and then throwing out hunting gun twice.
Hunting rifle when it was actually a gun.
It was a gun. Why would he say that?
Because, and I think that's kind of that's why I put it in there, because here's the deal. All cases, it's a precedent. So if you have a hunting rifle or a handgun, is that the difference? Are we going to take a look at the law, handgun versus hunting? There are a lot of people that have guns. And a lot of people teach their young kids to hunt. Sure. So if a young kid gets a gun and then shoots someone, does that mean the parents are going to be responsible for manslaughter?
But a handgun is underage, and they bought it for a Christmas present. So that actually adds another layer to it.
They did. So is that what we're looking for? If there's a young person getting a gun? Remember, the gun was in the drawer, and the parents did not know he took it out. We do not have safety laws like we're talking about now in the legislature.
Laws, right?
No laws were broken here. We did not have a gun safety law at the time of the shooting.
Yeah. When can we expect a decision on this, Charlie?
45 days, 60 days or so. It's going to be a written decision, and there's no doubt in my mind this is going to the Supreme Court.
We know you'll be on it every step of the way. Charlie Langton for us. Thank you.